In Washington, observing that the trade has been an area of frustration in the bilateral ties, the US has said that the door is open if India is prepared to bring serious proposals to the table to address the issues related to trade and the market access. The US in November last year revoked the duty-free concession on import of at least 50 Indian products, mostly from the handloom and agriculture sectors, reflecting the Trump administration's tough stand on the trade-related issues with New Delhi. A senior State Department official said on Friday that the US is proud to be India's largest export market and most important economic partner. Also, he said, "But we have struggled with regulatory issues that get in the way of ease of doing businesses in India and the market access for American companies and the products. The trade has frankly been an area of frustration in the relationship between the US and India. But the door is open if India is prepared to bring serious proposals to the table." Despite the intense engagement with the government of India for nearly a year, India did not assure the US that it would provide the equitable and reasonable access to its market, which led to its termination from the Generalized System of Preference program, said the official. A senior State Department official of US said, "While we are pleased that the growing US exports to India, the largely crude oil and the LNG led to 7.1% reductions in our bilateral goods trade deficit last year. The many structural challenges in our trade relationship has yet to be resolved." During the just concluded visit of a foreign secretary, while the focus was on strategic defense and relational and regional issues, in particular the Pakistan and Afghanistan, but the visiting diplomat is believed to have been conveyed that the ball is in India's court on resolving the trade-related issues. US is understood to have told India that the Trump administration is willing to review its decision to revoke its GSP privileges to India if New Delhi comes with a credible proposal to address the market access issues that America has been talking about for nearly a year. The GSP notification is still within the 60 days period, after which the benefit would formally be withdrawn. It is reliably learned that the US has told India that it's not too late, but it's unlikely to happen, given that India is now in an election campaign mode, officials said on both sides. While India argues that it is difficult to take any policy decision at this point of this time because of the elections and the Model Code of Conduct, America points out that it has decided to take its decision on revoking GSP privileges only after it exhausted all its options with India. During talks with India, America is believed to have said that there are creative ways of solving everything, all the trade-related issues that address concerns of both the countries. For instance, there are creative ways of certifying that the dairy products meet Indian standards and have believed to have talked about the creative solutions to certifying vegetarian cows. Similarly, access to high-end cell phones or the smartphones or the mobile phones can be addressed in a way that does not open up the market to China. The United States, it is learned, had been extraordinarily clear since April last year on addressing certain market access issues, in the absence of which it's reportedly told India that it risked losing GSP privileges. The US still hopes that the issues can still be resolved before the election and certainly after the election of India. So what do you think of US opening door for India if India brings good and formidable good proposals for US to bargain the GSP reduction and revoking it?
In New Delhi, the US has broadly agreed to grant India a waiver from Iran sanctions, which would allow Indian oil companies to continue to import about 1.25 million tons of oil a month till March from Tehran. A source familiar with the matter said, adding that an official announcement could come over the next few days. The US plans to reimpose the oil-related sanctions on Iran on November 4th of 2018 to choke the Islamic Republic's biggest source of income and pressure it to renegotiate a new nuclear deal. Any country or company trading with Iran without US consent after sanctions kick off risks getting out and cut off from the American financial system. The US has insisted all along that it wanted everyone to reduce oil imports from Iran to zero eventually, but was open to country-specific waivers that would allow limited imports by those pledging significant cut. India and other key importing countries have been engaged for months with the US for a waiver. India and US have broadly agreed on a waiver. India will cut import by a third, which is significant cut, said some sources. India had imported about 22 million tons of crude oil from Iran in 2017 to 18 and planned to raise that to be about 30 million tons in 2018 to 19. But as a condition of waiver, Indian oil firms will reduce their imports significantly, the source said. Indian companies can import 1.25 million tons a month up to March 2019, the same as they have ordered for October and November, the source said. The state oil firm are yet to decide on how this quantum will be split between them. A waiver will come as a big relief to Indian oil companies and MRPL, the two largest Iranian oil consumers. How companies will pay for Iranian oil is still being negotiated between India and Iran, adding that it is likely that the two countries will stick to its existing mechanism under which 55% of the payment is made in euro and 45% in rupee through UCO Bank. Under this, rupee is used for import of rice, drugs and other products from India, while the balance proceeds in rupee and euros sit idle in the Indian bank waiting for sanctions to go. The Indian side, while building its case for waiver, assured the US that this payment mechanism ensures Iran can't use oil money from India for any terror-related activity, a key American concern said. During the negotiation, India also told the US that it would like to import more American oil if it came on a competitive terms, said source. India and Iran still have to figure out the shipping and the insurance details for smooth trade. Currently, Iran provides its tanker as well as insurance for oil cargoes to India. The US sanctions have driven away Indian and the international shippers and insurers from extending their services for Iranian oil imports. So what do you think of US agrees to grant India waiver from Iranian oil sanction? Will this be a good start for India from importing oil from Iran, or India is bowing to US on other imports and the exports?
India can seize the opportunity to provide an alternative investment hub for American companies which are downgrading their operation in China. US Ambassador Kenny Jester said on Thursday, while he pitched for bilateral FTA as the next big-ticket item. Delivering his first policy speech since taking over as the ambassador to India, Jester identified 5 pillars to take Indo-US partnership forward: stronger defense ties, strategic economic relationships, energy environment, inclusive development and cooperation in the region. US Envoy in particularly emphasized on its India's role into Indo-Pacific region and opportunities in the economic partnership. India needs to take a strategic view of the economic relationship so as a roadmap for FTA could be laid. On pointing out America's first and Make in India are not incompatible, Justice said rather than investing in each other's market will be mutually beneficial. It will increase the economic interactions and volume of trade, lead to the collaboration on emerging technologies and create jobs in both the countries, he noted. But let me go through further and suggest that this is the time to put a strategic lens in our or on our economic relationship, just we have done with our defense relationship, he said. The speech was organized by the Canaries India, the India chapter of noted US think tank. Chester informed that a number of US companies have reported increasingly difficulties in conducting businesses in the large market in the region as is China. Accordingly, some companies are downgrading their operations there, while others are looking with great interest at the alternative markets. India can seize the strategic opportunity through trade and investment to become an alternative hub for US business in the Indo-Pacific region. Bilateral trade has increased from approximately 20 billion US dollars in 2001 to 115 billion US dollars in 2016. The US envoy, however, expressed the concerns about the persistent state deficits, including the one the US has with India. He said the US want to work with India to expeditiously resolve the trade and investment dispute. Referring to the defense ties, Justice said, "Perhaps in the next year we can announce some major agreements like the fighter jets, advanced helicopters, unmanned ground vehicles, and intelligence exchanges." He in fact suggested taking Indo-US military cooperations to entirely to a new level, reciprocally posting liaisons officers at each other's operational or combat commands. When asked about the China-US ties, Justin noted, "We are interested in a constructive relationship, but if they engage in the predatory economic policies and other things, there would be no reactions, or will be reactions." So what do you think of US putting India ahead of China, and US wants India to take the opportunity to avoid China out of the world of US? Post your comments below, and if you like this video, please give a thumbs up and follow us on social networks and subscribe to our channel. And thanks for watching. This is WEC Daily. Think big, think different. Bye.